cute, intricate melodies at 5 levels of complexity. Start with some sine chords that have a little bit of attack using the noise and a bandpass filter. Then use a limiter to kind of compress the transient into the sustain of the sound. Then make a little 3OSC lead with a volume envelope and some LFO on the amp. Then make some saw chords with a little bit of reverb that complement what's going on with your original set of chords without using the same notes. Then OTT it and EQ it so it's just kind of acting as like an air on the top of your chords. Next, we're going to start adding some little intricate pieces. First, I like to turn on the metronome and just get a feel for the rhythm that we want to do. First, I added an electric piano that I used ring modulation to kind of warble the stereo. Rendered it to audio, pitched it up, reversed it, and then time stretched it to kind of be a quick little wobbly thing. Then used it to swell into this little Pied Piper preset in Ogun that I've pitch bent really fast and automated a high shelf on. Then layered it with this snare that I reversed. Then I added these 2 little vocal pieces with some reverb on them that I've done like the super sharp Botanica style EQing to. Then punctuated again with another piano piece. Then followed it up with another pitch bend in Ogun, but this time I used a slide note to make it kind of slowly rise. Hopefully the metronome hasn't been getting on your nerves, and at this point I'll normally turn it off and kind of just go off of the other rhythms that I have. Here's what it sounds like with all the different layers together at this point. Next, you want to start layering some different stuff in so you kind of get flows between each of your little elements. Starting with this reversed chord that I have. Then I added some FL keys that I randomized the velocity and panning in, EQ'd pretty heavily to fit with what I already have, and added a speaker using Destructor to almost put them in like an acoustic space. And EQ'd them again to get out of the way of the original chords that I started with. Then I made this delayed send version of it that I got by using an LFO filter pluck in a snap heap followed by a dotted 1/8 delay. OTT'd it and rendered it to audio so I could fade it in. Then I used Fruity Convolver to just add a reverb sweep to the rendered delay. Then to give kind of like a little glitchy phrased ending, I took a kick, EQ'd it to be really small, then time stretched it to be shorter and kind of changed the pitch of it a couple times to like give it this little flowy percussive piece. So far that gives us this. Next, you might want to send all the channels into a similar bus so you can like kind of glue them together with compression and such. So I added a bloom and a pretty light shapeshifter. This is what it sounds like without them. Versus with. Then to give it some finality, I added this little serum chord that has a slow attack volume envelope a low pass filter where LFO1's modulating the panning using a sawtooth. Then at the very end of the bar, LFO2 turns the semitones all the way up an octave and turns the filter cutoff and the mix up. Then I took that chord and sidechained it to everything else that was going on at the time, so it could kind of move those elements out of the way in the mix. The project file for this will be on my Patreon, and if you want to support this channel, you can do that on Patreon, Gumroad, or by listening to Rip Dance Club on SoundCloud. Thank you for watching.